We go. Well, Wednesday night, HellaBass Live. What's up, David? How are you tonight?
I'm great, Rich. How you doing? What's up, everybody? It's good to hear. Good to be here.
Yeah, awesome.
Normally,
So I'm just gonna
normally
check in with
wait
the
a little
chat.
while to. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get going. I just want to make sure everything sounds good. They'll let us know usually pretty quick. But tonight we have. I'm gonna go for this now, David Pecháček. That's the last time we're gonna say it that
Correct.
way, but also known as Paycheck. Because let me know if I get this wrong, but because when you first started fishing as a co, you pretty much got a check every single time you fished a derby as a co.
Yep. Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's been maybe about 15 years I've had this nickname ever since I started pretty much fishing tournaments. Like I've had kind of a knack for at least getting the money and doing fairly well. So
Yeah.
hey, I'll take it, man. I like it.
There's worse nicknames out there, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably even better than I am, Rich. I mean, you're really good, man. You freaking are always killing it.
Yeah, it was until last week. I didn't cash a check last week, but yeah, we'll give it this. We'll get the train back on the tracks. Bono says you may be slightly quiet. He'll probably get louder as we go. Don't worry. Doug says we're good, and I don't know. Doug's up past his bedtime to watch this, so you should feel entitled and impressed by that.
Cool. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for showing up, brah. What did you fish last weekend, dude? A tournament or?
Yeah, last weekend I fished the TBF team trail out of Wabasha. We got a solid 12.5 pounds, finished right in the middle of the pack. We just couldn't get any big bites. Rigo's checking in. I think he's an old friend of yours.
Heck yeah, I used to fish in the St. Croix Bass Anglers with me, man. Wasn't the same going on this weekend though, too, dude?
Oh, so I guess that was 2 weeks ago now. Yeah. So this past weekend, I just sat and watched my 10-year-old skate in a tournament all weekend, and so I was at ice rinks all weekend. So.
Okay.
But in 2 weeks here, so not this weekend, but the weekend after, I got a team tournament up on Vermilion, so that should be exciting. A little pre-spawn up on Vermilion.
Yeah, that'll be real good, dude. I think one of my other friends said they're going to be up there too. It must be a pretty big tournament. I don't know what it is, but yeah, Rich.
Yeah, for sure. So what's up, Jay?
Push a little bit.
People are showing up, as in Minnesota. Yes, if they're talking about Vermilion, Minnesota. There is rum in the cup, Bill, and yes, I am not happy with my performance at that tournament. You're only a few minutes late. It was a late stream. We started at 9 because I watched back-to-back hockey scrimmages tonight, and that's what I do when I'm not working or fishing.
Do you play hockey too, Rich?
No, I barely can skate. She got that from her mom.
Skate, but your kids can. What up, Wyatt? That's cool,
we'll be taking out a fortune.
All kinds of people showing up now, man.
So yeah, before we get into Dave's story, he says, "How do we feel about Cox?" So yeah, what he made the knockout round at the BPT, but then he overnighted it to get to Neely Henry. He's just going to show up and fish. So the guy is a freaking animal. I wouldn't be surprised he would catch him, but I wouldn't put him on my fantasy team tonight. But he did the same thing last year at the Pro Circuit Championship. He drove to Sturgeon Bay, basically no practice, and almost won the dang thing. So right on, Jay. Are you frozen, Dave? Maybe not. Looks like he's back. Yeah, a little bit of Kraken with some Diet Dr. Pepper.
Maybe. I don't know.
I can hear you now. Yeah, he fished today. Fished till 3:15, and then 14-hour drive to Neely to start in the morning. All right. Welcome, Stephanie. Yeah, absolutely. Should be some nuggets. Hopefully David doesn't stay frozen because he does seem frozen right now. That is true. With the changing conditions, it might pay to have no preconceived notions. What's up, Mark? Mark, I saw you got TikTok. I was concerned that somebody actually hacked your phone today, so that's slightly concerning.
Is it better now, Rich?
It's definitely a bit laggy on Dave's end. It was good in the in the pre there, and he's
once we get
going, I don't know.
It's starting to get a little limp, huh?
Like every 10 seconds, you're like checking in.
Oh no!
I think Christie be good this week. I mean, I'm guessing Neely Henry's going to fish a little bit like Oklahoma. We can try removing yourself and coming back in, see if that fixes it. Sometimes it helps. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Are you just on there to like peruse and see what's going on? I don't know why you'd be on TikTok, Mark. But hopefully Dave's connection clears up because he's got kind of a cool story. He was originally a Minnesota angler, and that Florida internet is a pain for sure. We had the same problem. Like honestly, we've had problems with like only a couple guests, and one of them was Josh Douglas from Florida, and then Dave tonight. So, but I do think Neely Henry's gonna be really interesting because the water's coming up. Obviously, a lot of these guys didn't practice so much. If you watch social media, they spent most of their time sitting under docks watching thunderstorms roll through. So it'll be interesting. So like I think it might fish a little bit like Oklahoma, to be honest. Like I think big spinner baits and swim jigs and things like that could definitely play this week at Neely Henry tomorrow morning. So what up? Can you hear me?
We back, Rich? Are we good?
I hope so.
Are we good? I can hear you perfectly on yeah.
All right. Well, let's seems like people can hear you. Can you so let's maybe let you so why in the heck did you just leave everything in Minnesota and head to Florida? And how'd that happen?
It was kind of a couple years running. Like I had come down here for the Bassmaster Opens, and in the middle of the winter is when they come to Florida, and I was like, you know what? I think I can get used to this. This whole winter deal is not really my thing with the ice fishing. Like I know some guys like doing it, but it's not for me. But so yeah, I just decided, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna leave my job. I'm gonna become a captain and become a fishing guide in Florida and just fish tournaments and fish all the time, all year round, and not have to sit on a dang frozen lake like the rest of you guys. But yeah, so come on, Rich, move down here, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Maybe in the distant future. I don't know if I'd go all the way Florida south, but you know, the Carolinas, Tennessees, I could see that kind of action.
Yeah, dude, it's good fishing over there too, Georgia.
So what kind of job did you leave behind?
Hospital job. So it wasn't anything too crazy, but I mean, I figure I can make more money being a guide and enjoying it more, which is really the important thing. And I don't know, I've gotten like a couple of my buddies to kind of quit their jobs and become captains and are gonna move down here too. So I mean, if anybody wants to know how to do it, I'll tell you exactly the road to go. So it's a little bit difficult at times, but it's definitely possible. I mean, it's not impossible. So
you run like a pyramid scheme of guides, getting all your. Is this like a Mary Kay guide system you're running down in Florida, or what's going on?
You're funnier than I remember, Rich. No, just seriously, I just want a bunch of group of guys that I trust that want to guide, and I think it's just easier that way too. Like if I can only take one client out a day, so if I'm booked up, then I just send them to my buddy. If my buddy's booked up, double booked, then he sends them my way. So just benefits everybody, I think, having more people out there too. So, but who doesn't want to work with their buddies, right, Rich?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Bono says I can just come to Texas and just drink beer and hop in his boat. So that sounds even easier than guiding in Florida, to be honest.
Dude, Texas is cool, dude. But man, did you see that winter storm they got this year?
But that's what we call Tuesday in Minnesota. So who cares? Like that's
yeah.
So you moved down there?
They don't have any insulation on their pipes.
Did you move down? When did you actually make the move?
About a year ago now.
Yeah. And then how long did it take you to get your captain's?
February. That took a lot longer, dude. That took me like 3, 4, 5 months to get my captain's license. But I do know of another guy in Tampa where he'll give it to you in a week. So if you want to DM me, I'll send you the link. And it's way easier than the route that I took. I had to watch a bunch of YouTube videos and study for endless nights on end. So, but yeah, it took a while to get it. But hey, man, it's worth it. I would never go back to Minnesota. I would maybe go back to visit, but I'm not living there no more.
You maybe come back and visit some smallmouth every now and then.
90-degree days the last day. Yeah, can I jump in your boat and fish Mille Lacs this May?
Sure.
Okay.
My kids will be out of town the last week in May. Come on out.
Okay. I might seriously actually take you up on that offer. I might fish in Okeechobee that weekend. I'm not 100% sure. I think I have like 5 derbies on Okeechobee starting in 3 weeks. 5 weekends in a row on Okeechobee, so we'll see how this goes.
So where exactly in Florida is your like home base? Where are you living, and like what is your local lakes, and where do you mostly guide?
I live in a city called Winter Garden, which is pretty much just Orlando. I'm 30 minutes from Harris Chain, and I'm 30 minutes from Toho, and about 15 minutes from Johns Lake. So I guide mostly on Toho and Johns. Johns has a lot of numbers, but Toho is where all those big ones that you're seeing on my profile, on my Facebook and my Instagram are coming from. All those clients that are catching those 8+ fish or 8+ pound fish are from Toho. But I don't really go to Harris. Dude. I honestly don't actually like Harris that much. So I kind of I've spent a ton of time out there, but I haven't really done that well. It just hasn't fished that well this year.
So Gabe wants to know what does it take to get a captain's license down there?
You can get a captain's license anywhere. There's a couple different routes that you can go. I did mine through this company online. You have to like take a bunch of quizzes and tests and stuff, and then you have to basically make this whole package of different things, like a drug test. You have to get what's called a TWIC card, and you fill out this application. Then you have to send it into the U.S. Coast Guard, and then they review your application for about 10 years or something, it seems like, and then they'll finally send you your captain's license. So
do you not have like a big test to take?
It's not that. Yeah, through the company that I did it through. Yeah, eventually once you do all their quizzes, you take a test. Yeah, and you have like, I don't get like 2 or 3 tries, and if you don't pass, and you gotta, I think, find another route to do it in. But the guy in Tampa, you just go there for a week, I guess, and a couple of my buddies have gone there, and you just go there for Monday through Friday, and then at the end of the week, he just passes you. So that's kind of the deal that I've been sending all my buddies to. So
is he from like New York?
There, like, but it sounds
like he's
nicer.
from. Is he from like Jersey? He's just got like the secret like.
Yeah, where he just like brings people in, he just funnels them through, just like, okay, you pass, like. But who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. The Tin Horse Monty.
Tin Horse Monty. He's out of just east of St. Louis, Southern Illinois. He does some fishing and some content creation out of that area. I believe in Florida you do have to be a captain to be a guide. Is that true?
That is true. Yep. Actually, I think you need to be a captain in Minnesota now too if you guide on the river, or even Mille Lacs, maybe even, because they're technically considered federal waterways. So it is different actually. On my captain's license, I actually have a freshwater one, and I also have a near shore, also encompassed in my captain's license. And you fill that out on the application. There also might be another offshore one. I don't know, but I don't offshore fish right now, so I'd have to look into it.
You're not like taking the Ranger out on like some...
I can. No, I think I'm good up to like 20 miles offshore or something, but I'm not going past that in my Ranger anyway. No.
You're not going center console, full Florida captain style?
I might take it out this summer if it gets really calm, I guess, out in the ocean, and that's when you want to do your ocean fishing. So I might take it out a couple of times this summer. I've heard that you don't really need to worry about these motors. You just got to flush them out really good and wash them down. I guess, I don't know. I've never done it before. You know more about it.
What could go wrong? I mean,
my motor could blow up maybe somehow. I don't know.
So part of you going down there and getting set up for your guide thing, like, didn't you get a different boat for this?
I actually didn't. I was going to use my smaller Stratos. But then I had motor problems with it, and like any good fisherman does, instead of fix it, he decides to just go buy a new one. So I drove to Iowa in December on one weekend and drove back, test drove it for about 15 minutes, and then turned around and came back. So yeah.
So what model
it's an awesome
Ranger
boat,
are you?
Dude.
Yeah. So what is
it's
it?
the 519 VX. It's actually 519 VX. It's Comanche. It's the same boat that actually Bankston used to have. So Brian Bankston used to have the exact same boat as what I have right now. So
Very nice. So you started
Did you come
guiding?
Did you come down here at all?
No.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you officially started guiding what, like summertime last year?
Around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Actually, so fall. And it's been pretty consistent since then. I'm getting about, I don't know, maybe 2 trips a week or so. It's nothing crazy, but hey, as long as it pays the bills, I'm able to fish. Like that's all that really matters to me. So I'm looking to grow though. I'm working on my website and doing all kinds of stuff. So fishing tournaments, get my name out there, coming on this famous HellaBass Live. So you know anybody coming down, Rich? Yeah, dude. Seriously, do you do this every week?
Yeah, most every week, unless I got too much going on. But yeah, pretty much every Wednesday night. So I mean, you're not watching every Wednesday night?
What?
It makes it sound like you don't watch every Wednesday night. Like you didn't know that.
I feel like I do though. Every Wednesday night, I don't know, it pops up on my notifications because I subscribe to you. So I think I watch every Wednesday night, depending on how cool your guest is.
Can you read that?
Ask Dave the top 5 anglers from the St. Croix Bay. Ask, yeah, Well, obviously Ringo is number one. You might know some of these guys. I don't know. Wes Haney. Do you know Wes Haney, Rich?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Mattis. Mike Mattis was
Yep.
also in that club. Josh Miller. Josh Miller is really good over there. He was also in that club. Who else?
Was Birch in there?
I don't know. His brother Jacob is really good too. Randy Birch was in the club for a while. Yep. I mean, it's a really tough club, dude. If you wanted to join a Wisconsin club and try to make the Minnesota State team and the Wisconsin State team in the same year, that would be pretty dope, dude.
Yeah, I feel like I've pretty much
Corey Hawk was in our club too.
I've pretty much either fished against all those guys in weekend series tournaments, the BFLs, or at divisionals. So I've met all those guys.
Yeah, Dave Manzel's really good too, his fishing partner.
Lake Apopka.
Actually, Lake Apopka there's 2 ramps that are both 5 minutes away from my house. I've been on the lake twice in the last year. And it actually is really good. Don't tell anybody though.
Nice. So do you do any live bait shiner fishing, or do you do all artificials on your trips?
I actually do both. So I first started out, I was just gonna do artificials. I was like, I'm gonna be like king shit. We don't need to use shiners or whatever. And then I quickly realized, okay, you know what? Like, let's do this shiner deal, because like at least then we're catching more fish, or more consistently catching fish. So I actually do both. My clients will usually be using artificials up front, and then I'll be using artificial or a shiner pole, at least one shiner pole in the back. Oh, Mark is down here.
Yeah, so Mark actually he marked some
me out then.
He's from Oklahoma. Then he spent a few years up here in Minnesota and fishing gopher bass masters back in the day, and then he's kind of moved around a bit. But now I think he's also recently moved to Florida. So there you go. You guys can become Facebook friends. You guys are close.
Okay. Hit me up, Mark. Let's go on Lake Apopka. They actually
nice. So you got a couple trips.
They did a tagging program, Rich, out on Lake Apopka.
Sure. Tell us about it.
There. Are we talking over each other a little bit? They had a tagging program on Lake Apopka, and they tagged a 12-pound bass this spring. And one of the Florida guys down here during the Toyota Series actually caught it, and they were giving away $5,000 whoever could catch it. He caught it during a tournament during the Toyota Series, actually. Weighed like 9.5 pounds or something.
Crazy.
So there's some big fish in Lake Apopka.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
a
there's
long run for a tournament, but
also Apopka is actually part of the chain.
Yeah, like part of the Harris chain.
Oh, or part of Harris. Okay. Right.
Yeah,
some people are intrigued about the shiner
running wide open. How do you fish shiners? Yeah, so there's 2 different ways. You can like drag it like a tube, or like drift it, which is what I do a lot of times. Like we'll be using the trolling motor, and then you just hook it through the nose with like a little circle hook. You don't need any weight or nothing like that. You just drop it by the side of the boat and just go 50 feet away from it and then close the bail. Or you can do it the boring way, which a lot of other guys do, where they just put it on a bobber and they hook it through the back and just watch a bobber all day, which I'm not going to put my clients on bobber fishing. That sounds like watching paint dry.
Nice. Follow-up question: how big are the shiners?
The domestics that you buy are about 4 inches or so. But you get some wild shiners that are like 12 inches long, like just ginormous ones. They're just like giant, like almost like gizzard shad. You need a really big plug to be able to hold that shiner in place. But normally the ones I'm using are only 4 to 5 inches long, maybe. Do you know all these people, Rich?
Some of them. A lot of them are people in here that are usually on here. Regulars, a few new names. Some people I know in real life. Some people I don't. Any cool gator stories? You got to have at least one. You've been there a year. There's got to be like one like crazy gator story by now.
I actually, you know what's funny about that, dude? I actually don't see a lot of gators. I don't know if it's where I'm fishing or if they're getting less prevalent, but Lake Apopka, which is right by my house, if you go out on that lake, legit, like you will see 50, 60 gators in just an afternoon, evening. They're everywhere. Like they'll just be swimming out in the middle of the lake. Like they're all over on the shoreline. Like, and some big ones too, like really, really big ones, like 12 footers. But I fish Toho a lot too, and I don't ever see them on Toho. Like never.
Interesting.
But it's yeah, I feel like it's more of a South Florida stuff deal now, down towards Alligator Alley and stuff like that, towards the Everglades. You'll see a lot of them, but not really up by Orlando.
So have you made any road trips to find some peacock bass yet?
Not yet. It's on the list. I've actually been bugging a guy that I know down there. I want to go down a lake. There's a lake called Lake Ida, and I guess they have peacocks. They have this clown knife fish. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of that fish. It's a pretty cool looking fish. Looks like a salamander, kind of weird, like dogfish looking thing. And then they have another one that's like a small, like bluegill looking thing. I can't remember the name of it, but it's another
cichlid?
only South Florida fish. A Lucy fish or something. I think. But
what's up, fishing with Grants?
It's on the list, bro. It's on the list.
Nice. Cool. Oh, serious hard-hitting question here.
I do actually. I do. But the only reason that I work a regular job right now, I hope my boss isn't watching this, but I'm trying to save up to buy a house. And if I quit my job, I've been told from people who I know in real estate that you have to have 2 years of income through your own business. And I don't want to wait another year and a half. So I'm just holding on to this job right now while I guide on the side and save up some money. Yeah. So once I have a house, you all can come down and visit, bro. I'll make sure there's a couple guest bedrooms.
There you go. So you'll have like a big Airbnb, a guiding service, like it'll just be all these things. It'll be just an enterprise.
Heck yeah, that's seriously, you're joking about that, Rich, but that's actually my idea. So come on down, join it. I think you'll have a great time. Bring the kids with you, dude. Bring the wife. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna have the house, and then 2 weeks later, I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in.
Nice. Cool. Sounds like Fishing with Grants just gave away a rod reel combo on his stream. So you got a side job, you're guiding a few other things, then you're sneaking in some BFLs and a few other tournaments and some nation tournaments. And I don't know how it seems like you've adapted to Florida fishing pretty well. What can you say, like, do you think it like correlates from Minnesota and all the grass? Was it completely new? Like, just walk us through like what it's been like adapting to Florida from Minnesota.
That's a really interesting question, Rich, because when I first moved down here, I actually thought it was super tough. And I don't know if that's because we had a couple BFLs on Harris chain and Harris is just fishing really weird, but I feel like once you get used to just able to slow down even more than Minnesota. Like Minnesota, it's like you can go down any shoreline that you think there's fish on and there'll be fish on it. It's not like that in Florida. Like it all looks the same pretty much. So you have to get used to literally just slowing down and fishing an area and finding out if there's fish there or not fish there, and then going to another area. You can't do that whole run and gun, just willy-nilly just fishing everywhere. It just doesn't work that way down here. So if you just take your time and pick things apart, you'll start figuring out, okay, they're here or they're not here, or this is what I should do. You just can't fish real fast is really the key in Florida, I feel like.
So you just get a June bug Senko and slow down.
It's been a tough transition, but I feel like no, not you. Look at you. Have you been down here before, Rich?
I've been to Florida. I've never fished in Florida.
Wait, hold on a second. The famous Rich Lindgren has been here but never fished here?
We've just been to like work conferences in Disney World.
Okay, I'm like 15 minutes away from Disney World, dude. So come on down with the family, bro. We'll go out.
Well, I'm sending them down later this year, and I don't know that I'm going with.
What?
It's like not during, forget when they're going, but it's like still like good fishing up here at that time. It's not like winter. We'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind.
What you also kind of have to get used to, I feel like, in Florida, Rich, is like the numbers. There's so much more numbers, I feel like, in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Like you literally will catch fish all day long up there, but down here, it's not like that at all. Like, I mean, when I won my BFL in Okeechobee, I only caught 8 fish all day, 9 fish maybe. When I got a top 15 on the Toho event, same thing. I only caught like 8 or 9. So,
but that's in general true. I don't know, anywhere kind of south of the upper Midwest. Like even when I've fished tournaments in Indiana and Illinois, Alabama, Texas, like sure there's outliers and there's days where you crush them, but day in and day out, you don't catch the numbers that you catch in Minnesota and Wisconsin all year long.
Mm-hmm. So even when you were at like Gunnersville, I think for the national tournament, you really didn't catch them there?
Pickwick. Yeah, we fished Pickwick in November. That was pretty stingy. I think I caught 7 or 8 keepers the first day and only 2 the second day. But that's also a 15-inch minimum.
Tough.
So, I mean, so tell us more about these BFLs. Like, so you basically fished like what, your 3rd BFL, 4th BFL down there, and you popped a win?
Yeah, it was the 4th one. Yep, of the 5. The first 2 were at Harris. I got a check in the first one. I didn't get a check in the second one and kind of sucked it on Harris, and then backed it up with a top 15 at Toho, with an opportunity to probably get like a top 5 if I would have just top 3 maybe if I would have gotten one more decent fish. And then went down to Okeechobee on 2 days of practice and somehow pulled it out my rear end, man. I don't know. Just got
had
lucky,
what?
I guess.
20 and change.
Yeah, 20 pounds and 4 ounces.
Nice.
20 pounds and 3 ounces or something. Yeah. So, I mean, when you think of Okeechobee, though, you think that a 20-pound bag is not going to win you a PFL against, like, Brandon McMillan, like, all these other guys that, like, grew up on that lake. Like, but it was super windy. Like, Okeechobee's fishing tough, too. So, like, there's a ton of dirty water everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, when we have 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing, there isn't that many areas to fish, and there already isn't that many areas to fish because of all the dirty water. So it ends up, everybody's bunched up together, so everybody ends up sharing fish through a whole giant lake like that.
Yeah. So was that like a spot deal? Did you have a pattern? Like, did you just hunker down in one little area? Like, how did it go down, and what was your techniques?
So I literally had 2 rods on my deck the whole day because I had actually, it's a funny story. So there's a couple days before I went down for practice, Brandon McMillan actually posted a Wired to Fish video about how he likes to fish a black and blue swim jig. And I was like, huh, you know what? I really like to throw a black and blue swim jig. I think I'm just gonna tie that on and just cast it around during practice to see if I can find some areas where there might be some fish. And I went down there, and the first day of practice, the first morning, it wasn't that great, but then I caught like 21 and a half pounds, 22 pounds that first day of practice in the evening. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, this never happens on the first day of practice. You don't just run into them like that. And the second day of practice, then I was like, what am I going to do now? Well, then I went to yep, just like that, brother. Just like that. You know it, dude. Only that is a light wire hook, right? I don't know if I'd throw that one in Florida. That looks like
Yeah, it's a super
a
case, so it's
lethal
got a
weapon or
decent hook
something.
in it. But sure, go ahead. Throwing around, found some
I don't
fish.
think I
Black
have
and
the
blue swim
swim
jig.
jig next to me, but yeah. So then the second day of practice that I went to the very south end where I guess Skeet Reese had won the MLF tournament there like a month prior or something, and dude, I couldn't find anything on the very, very south end. So I went back towards Clewiston, and literally I found another area that evening, that second day of practice, and it turned out to actually save me because it was the second spot I fished that tournament day. And yeah, I mean, it was only literally like 3 areas that I had found. Throwing that black and blue swim jig and kind of pitching it to all the cattails and everything that's kind of in that same area. Because in Florida, all these lakes are just too big. You literally have to find like a couple areas or one area and hunker down, or the wheels are just gonna come off every single time pretty much. You can't really, I don't feel like you can really run a whole pattern through a whole lake down here.
Sure.
It's not like, I don't know, not like a upland reservoir or something like that, or you just have to fish slower down here too. In Florida is the problem, so that's why you literally have to find an area to fish. And yeah, dude, I don't know, just got really fortunate. Tournament day, dude, I went out there, I was all amped up, and it was 9:30 and I didn't have a fish in the boat, dude. I had 0 and my co had 3. And he's like, "Hey, bro, like, uh, you're still in it. Just keep the wheels on." And I proceeded then to catch like a 6 right in front of, literally within casting distance of 2 other guys. They were right next to me. And then I had like a 7 like lost at my bait, and I got all antsy, and I pulled it away from him like an idiot, and it was like 11:30, and left that spot, and then went to this other spot that I had found. That spot I had found on the second day of practice, and proceeded to catch my limit within an hour. And there was like 8 boats in that area too, but they were all not really fishing it the same way I was fishing it. I was fishing like way shallower, I feel like, probably than everybody else was. I was only in a couple feet of water the whole tournament, so I think it was more the areas. I just had confidence in a couple areas, Rich, and literally just picked them apart, just made like a mess, figured I'd run it by enough fish to be able to do well, because going into that tournament I was 25th in points or something, and the top 45 get to go to the regional. So I was literally just trying to catch a 20+ pound bag just to make sure I stayed in the top 45. I wasn't really trying to win the thing. I didn't think I'd be able to win it with a 21 pound bag or a 22 pound bag. I figured it was going to be 30 pounds or 28 pounds or something. But yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, congrats. What kind of, like a swim bait trailer or a craw trailer? What kind of swim jig trailer?
Speed craw. I throw
Okay.
a speed craw pretty much all the time. There's this new one I guess I came out with. It's like a super speed craw. It's like a bigger profile one. I use the little one for like smallmouth on the river. Like, you better be throwing that black and blue swim jig during the state tournament down on 4 and 5 with a little speed craw on there, because that's the deal. But I was throwing the bigger speed craw.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
During the Toho event, I was actually throwing a Carolina rig, which I actually don't even like throwing a Carolina rig. I didn't even really like throwing it until I moved to Florida here.
Nobody likes the Carolina rig, really.
Yeah, I felt like a couple times, oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah, but I just knew that there was nothing back in Minnesota other than a bunch of 1.5, 2 pounders and a really long winter, and I don't like winter, so I left.
All right. So, like way back, growing up in Minnesota, were you always in bass? How'd you get started? Like, did you always like bass fishing? Were you a multi-species guy? Like, how'd you get into it? High level.
My dad actually fished in a club when I was young and would take me out all the time as a kid, and fished in the St. Croix Bass Anglers. And then I left that club after fishing there for a few years, and fished some weekend series events. I might have fished some against you too, and then moved over to Minnesota. So I was like, I'm gonna join a Minnesota club and join the Viking Bassmasters. You want to say something?
No, I think I remember you fishing as a co in a few tournaments that I fished as a
No.
boater, like weekend series or BFLs or something like that. I like Elma or Wabasha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the weekend series. I'd never even fished the BFLs ever, not even in Minnesota, Wisconsin, until I decided to move to Florida. What did Wyatt say?
He said, if you make the divisionals, you'll be an enemy.
No, I won't, because I'll be in the Southeast division then. So I'll be in a different division than him.
We got Banger sighting in the house. We were talking about your old boat earlier, Banger.
Mm-hmm. Nobody likes throwing a Carolina rig.
Yeah. So
what he's talking
you've
about.
had some success. So what are you in the points now after? Because you were doing well and then you won one. Where are you at now?
Ninth, but actually because you win one, you automatically get a bid to the regionals. So my goal is, I don't know if Cade Laufenberg watches this live feed or not, but since I saw him win a boat last fall, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I want to go win a boat. So the regionals is on the St. Johns River, which I now qualified for, which is only 30 minutes from my house too. So I'm just gonna spend an obscene amount of time out there this summer to try to win that sucker. So, yep.
They should need a swim
Let's
jig there.
go. Yeah, move to Florida. They eat a swim jig there, really? I don't
They
think
should.
so. I think you're
I
messing
mean,
with me.
it's a river. It's Florida. It's grass. Why wouldn't they eat a swim jig? Think about
That's
it.
true. That is true. Yeah.
Just because the locals don't throw it doesn't mean they won't eat it.
That's true. That's true. They'll probably eat it better, actually, because they'll be like, oh, what the heck? I've never seen that before. What is that?
So now that you've had some success, are you thinking about fishing any like Yodas or like opens next season when they come through Florida?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, I think the last time we talked like in depth together, I was like all about the opens and stuff like that. And I think it's a nice way to like kind of get used to traveling and seeing different bodies of water. But it just costs too much money, man. Like until I get like really financially stable with a house and this guide business, it's not really for me. Like that's why I'm fishing like local stuff, like local bigger money things. But I don't think I'm gonna fish the opens for at least a couple years now. 'Cause it's just, dude, it's like 1,800 a pop. Like plus then you gotta pay for gas and lodging. Like that's just too much money to be throwing around. I feel like.
Yeah, I was thinking more like just the like the Florida Toyotas, like when they make their swing through there.
Yeah, I might fish the one. I might fish the one. Yeah. I'd have a lot more practice than everybody else. That's for sure.
All right.
Are you gonna fish the open too?
What's that?
Are you gonna fish the opens at all? When are you gonna step it up out of Minnesota, bro? I want to see you fish the opens.
Maybe in 5 years.
5 years. 5 years. Okay, we'll be traveling buddies. You'll be in Florida by then. The jackhammer doesn't work in Florida.
No,
it doesn't work in Florida. It catches a few here and there. Yeah, it's a pretty good bait. Yeah,
it's probably actually works
know
better
that,
in
Ringo.
Florida.
That's why you're asking.
The jackhammer's at its best around grass. I don't think like it's a good bladed jig, but I think it's at its best when it's in around grass.
Have you tried the other ones, Rich, like the Thunder Cricket, or no?
I've dabbled with the Thunder Cricket. I don't love the Thunder Cricket. It's okay. I would say the one I throw the most outside of the jackhammer is the Z-Man Custom, which is a TW exclusive. It's like $8. It's got a really good hook. It's got a wire keeper. It's got a twisted wire tie connection instead of a clip. So like if you like throwing it on braid and you're worried about hooking an 8-pounder, like if you're in Florida, it's got a way better connection than a jackhammer.
Interesting. Okay.
And then playing around with the Super K Clacking this year a little bit.
Do you have one right by you? Let me see one. I don't think I've seen one.
I don't think my swim jigs are handy. I think they're in the boat. Or my vibrating jigs. Sorry. Yeah. Z-Man Custom's really good. Best color for that custom. Whatever you like throwing whatever bladed jig works for you where you fish already, the custom, whatever the closest one. I have not checked out the Imakatsu.
Black and blue. You never can go.
Black and, I mean, you only need a black and blue, you need a white or white and chartreuse, and you need a bluegill.
White.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
See? Everybody knows about the Clacken.
What is this clacking? What is going on?
It's from, you know, Super K Jigs, the company out of Wisconsin. Super K.
Yeah, Greg Kaczewski used to start it, or he started it.
Yeah. So they have a bladed jig with a direct connection, and it comes with the blade separate, and you have to attach it yourself.
Interesting. That's how they got around the patent, maybe.
Maybe that's how.
Shoot, huh?
So let's talk a little more about your guiding, because you're clearly a tournament rock star. But what would you say, like, what is your typical client? Are you getting a lot of like really new anglers, people that are like Disney World and they decide they want to go fishing for a day? Are you getting like old friends? Are you getting like serious bass guys? Like what is typical? What's the mix? What are the type of clients?
Yeah, I think it's more like a serious bass angler, more of like the people that I already know because they're already within my network. But I really want to tap into that whole Disney market, you know, like people coming down here with their families this summer, like, you know, if you just want to come out for a day, you know, like the wife and the kids can go to the park, and then dad and son or whatever can hop in the boat with me and stuff like that, because that's really where you're going to start getting a lot more clients is from Disney. And then now that the Orlando Convention Center is going to be back up and running here soon, and ICAST is going to be right around the corner. That's only 2-3 months away. So all those people coming into town for business and stuff like that are really the people I'm going to try to target here more this summer. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But yeah.
So what kind of
Have you
rate?
thought about guiding in Minnesota, Rich?
No, I've done a little bit of guiding, like just like here and there.
I bet people would pay to go out with you, dude. You're a stud, man.
So here's the
$350 for 4 hours, and then it goes up from there.
So is like your Facebook page the best way for people to get a hold of you, or?
Yeah, through David Paycheck Fishing or David Pecháček Fishing. Yep, right there. I feel like it's easier to get a hold of me through my actual Facebook though. But yeah, that's cool. Are you following me? Can I tell if you're following me right now? Through there. Or actually just call me. I think my phone number's on there too somewhere. So.
So now you said you caught him on a speed craw, but that looks like a rage craw.
Look at you. Yeah, that actually is a different trailer that I just put on there. It's not the same.
Did you put on a Guggen Clacken craw because it was presented by Guggen?
No, dude, I don't use Guggen baits, man. We all know that real tournament bass guys don't fish Guggen baits. Let's be real. Not even Scott Martin and not even Jacob Wheeler. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. I don't know. Do you throw Guggen baits, Rich?
I don't think I have ever made a cast with a Guggen bait that I'm aware of.
Not even the Ned rig with the cool rattle in it?
No. Are you specializing in chain pickerel as well?
Get out of here. That was his first chain pickerel. He was really excited. Can't you tell? Yeah, I do chain pick roll tournaments too. Yeah, there's Toho there, dude. I don't remember that one. I mean, that was practice. That's my PB right there, bro.
This one?
Yeah. I know, it's smaller than your PB.
Nope.
Look at that beast, bro. 810, bro. What's up? You know what I caught it on?
Like a lunker log?
Carolina rig, yep. The S waiver.
Pulled up so he caught an S waiver with his jig today. Nice. So he caught a glide bait with his jig today. Nice catch, Darius. So yeah, you're saying like, so here's the thing is like, I got a pretty decent job that is a full-time job. And so I save my time off for my kids and fishing tournaments. So it doesn't really pay for me to take days off to go guiding.
Yeah, or you could do it like I do it, where like you just do evening trips. So you do it, I don't know, after work during the week.
I have literally, my kids have sports 12 days a week. It's not mathematically possible, but that's what it's like.
You could just cut out sleep, Rich.
That's what I'm doing now. That's why we're streaming.
Do night trips.
10 o'clock at night, and we're editing videos through the end of the night on the YouTube channel. That's what I'm doing, because night trips in Minnesota aren't a thing.
Oh, my.
So when my kids grow up in a few years,
they are for muskies.
I'll get mad at them again. So that's when it's going to happen. 13 and almost 11.
So you got
that's how old they are.
7 years until they're 18 and on the road.
When they can start driving themselves to their own practices, we should be good.
Uh-oh. Then I'm going to have to worry about you invading Florida and taking all my money.
Nah. So what, I don't know, any other good stories? Like, we kind of just breezed over. You just kind of like, oh, I just went to Florida and I started a guide service and won a BFL. Like, there's got to be some like some life lessons. There's got to be some good stories, some like unexpected things. Like, give us a couple nuggets on that journey, because we only spent like 2 minutes on that.
So I don't know. Maybe I didn't prepare as much as I should have. I quit my job and I had another job. But I didn't find like where I want to live, so I stayed in my truck for a few months when I moved to Florida. That's kind of crazy, dude. Like,
so you were basically living out of your
who's willing?
Okay, truck bed for
truck
like
and towing my boat. Yeah, van down by the river. David Paycheck. Like, what am I doing? I moved to Florida. Like, I don't know where I want to stay. Like. Did I think this completely through, or am I insane? But yeah, last summer I finally found a place to kind of like settle things down, because I figured bringing my boat to work and keeping my boat at a storage unit probably wasn't the best idea. So yeah, now things are more stable. I can focus on fishing and guiding, and yeah, I don't have to go to the gym to shower. I actually have a shower 2 feet from me, so.
So was that like
crazy
gas
life
station
of Dave?
Food? Like, were you grilling out? Were you like Mav, like truck camping style? Like, were you just like eating ramen out of a cup? Like, what was your living out of your truck for 3 months situation like?
it was like staying at Walmart parking lots and hoping that I don't get robbed, and going into Walmart and getting food and going to a gym and showering. And yeah, dude, it was like complete, like living down by the river, redneck shit. Like,
So you like would just go into
I was
Walmart
just
and
like,
buy like
yeah,
a
I'm just gonna
sandwich.
try to figure this out.
So you like go to Walmart, get a
Yeah,
sandwich, get an apple,
precisely,
get it like.
precisely, dude. Yep, I took it. I bought a topper, so like at least I have a topper, and then I could like get back there, and I had a nice big queen size bed that would fit across my whole bed. And then I put like curtain rods up, and like I had curtains and stuff like that because I was all paranoid, and like had like this locking mechanism so I could lock the inside of my topper so people couldn't mess with me. Like, it was crazy, dude. Like, it's nuts here in Florida. It was probably a little more dangerous than I would like to admit. But I did it, dude, and I survived, so I'm good now.
It's a good way to save a little money. No rent or house payments for 3 months.
Yeah, no, dude, nothing. No. Mm-mm.
Did you
No.
have any
A
guide
little
trips? You
scary.
didn't have guide
Might
trips
want to.
during that time period, right?
No. Mm-mm. No, I was just studying for my captain's exam, and I took a leave of absence at my job up in Minnesota. Yeah, just had all my stuff down here and had a storage unit and was towing my boat everywhere, pretty much.
So you'd
But
be like, oh yeah, just
then a buddy from
go to the ramp.
Minnesota,
When you get there, knock on the topper. I'll get.
dude, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, just, hey, bro, just come on by. I'll be there. You know where to find me. Dave's sweet. But
Nice. Yeah, John, he's right near Orlando. So Toho, Harris Chain, a couple other lakes.
yep, Johns Lake, Butler Chain. Um, and I was not at a campground. I was legit staying at Walmart parking lots and like mall parking lots and stuff like that, with my boat behind, too, my old boat. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been hearing about this more. I've a few people in our neighborhood, newer cars. Obviously, been hearing this about other tournaments, like in Texas. People, see, that's the thing. You drive an older vehicle, nobody wants to steal your catalytic converter. Nobody wants the catalytic converter out of my 2011 Tahoe.
Do diesels have catalytic converters or no?
I don't think so, but I don't know. What's up, Walt? Glad you made it. But Lauren's got all the good questions. Did your family think you were nuts more so than they already knew you were nuts when you decided to go down there?
Yeah, I think my dad just all he said was pretty much like, "Good luck." Like, I hope you make it. I don't know. My family just knows that I'm kind of a gypsy kind of guy where I just like kind of just travel where the wind takes me, and I'm just all over the place. So they probably just assumed it was just another one of Dave's crazy decisions.
Yeah,
He's just
they were
off
probably
off
thinking,
and running.
what took him so long? We thought he would have done this 10 years ago.
Wish I would have done it 10 years ago, Rich. I really do. Like, I wish I was like 20 something, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought I was stuck in Minnesota this whole time, and nobody's stuck anywhere. You can literally go wherever you want and do whatever you want. So just do it, man. You're never
America.
too old. America.
Yeah, so actually, when I go to tournaments and like BFLs and stuff, I camp out of the back of the Trailblazer and the Tahoe all the time. That's like my normal thing. I usually stay at campgrounds, not Walmart parking lots, but like that's my normal thing. Like I do that all the time. I like being outside. I like being like connected to my boat in a campground. Like you never hear about people losing their catalytic converters or their props getting stolen or all their rods getting at campgrounds. You hear that about hotels, right? So I just like staying in campgrounds and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Brent Hames does that too. He has like a skillet
He's actually got a
that he
van.
brings with like a little propane and like. Oh yeah, he's got a van. Yeah, he's a van down by the river.
Yeah, his is actually
That's the
legit
way to
set
do
up.
it, dude. It sounds
No, for sure.
like, you sound like Rick Lund actually when you say all that stuff. I don't know if you've read his book or something, but
About just being outside and being in tune and all that stuff. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And I'm not a fan of tents. Like
Yeah,
the
I feel
last
like
thing
it
I want to
helps,
do on
for sure.
tournament morning is to pack up a wet tent and then have to deal with that when I get home. So that's why I don't tent.
So you have like a bed in the back of your truck or something?
I got like some foam mattresses, like foam pads that I roll out. Yeah. Like multiple thicknesses of different memory type foam to kind of build your own. That way it just keeps it a little narrower.
Okay.
Like I don't want a big, right?
Mm-hmm.
That way I can store more tackle back there.
You're not. You're crazy. Did you ever get one of those Mega Bass hats that you're gonna turn into a visor, bro?
No, I'm just gonna rock my Arsenal. See, I don't buy hats to make visors. There's plenty of hats available.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any other big wins before your
big
big open?
win? What was your biggest win? I mean, it wasn't a big win, but it was my first open as a co-angler. I made the top 12 and made Saturday on Toho. That was pretty BA. That was like a few years ago. But no, this is my first like upper level win. Uh-oh, diesels do have catalytic converters. Yeah. I'm in trouble.
You probably lost yours when you were sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. You didn't even know it.
Probably took a sawzall to it underneath me. Oh well. So, do you feel like people actually suck less by listening to this, Rich? Do people tell you that, or is that like your like slogan?
Suck less?
Do people suck less because they listen to this?
Some people do. I don't know about tonight, but most shows, I think people learn stuff and suck less.
You don't know if they're learning anything tonight. What do people want to know?
What? How about give us
state teams, like 20 state teams now or something?
I've made a few. So maybe give us like, if somebody comes down to Florida for the first time, what are 3 things you got to keep in mind? Like, here's Dave's top 3 tips for your first trip to Florida.
Okay. Make sure you bring a chatterbait. I'll go through the baits. Make sure you bring a chatterbait, speed worm, a Carolina rig, and swim jig. Those are like the four baits you'll need. Like literally, like you can go anywhere, in Florida and catch those. And black and blue or June bug red. Like, and probably book a guide trip with David Paycheck guide service. That would probably help you too.
Look at Brad. Brad says hi. Brad's coming to join you, isn't he? Isn't he moving to Florida, or is on his way, or just did, or something?
Yeah, he says hired. Yeah, he's looking to buy a house here. Maybe we'll see. A lot of guys are. A bunch of guys that I've been talking to that are thinking about moving down here. Come on, Brad.
Brad actually did worse than I did in that tournament, so I think he made me feel slightly better about myself. Before we get too far, we have not talked about thanking Arsenal Fishing for supporting the channel and the stream. So usually we do that in the beginning of the show. We're kind of doing that towards the end, but definitely shout out to Arsenal Fishing. If you guys haven't checked them out, check it out. You can get an old retro hat like this guy over here.
Right here.
Yeah, check them out. Code.
This
So
is the
what?
cool
I don't
one.
know. You rock some Arsenal fishing stuff. What's your favorite like Arsenal fishing stuff?
His swim baits are really good. I really like his swim baits. The little
The
ones,
tactical
the
minnows.
swimmers, the tactical
Yeah, they're called
minnows.
tactical minnows, David.
You got some there?
I think they're in the boat. Pretty sure. Yeah.
You have so much stuff you can't find anything.
It's just we've put stuff in the boat because it's derb season.
The ice
You not
just
throw
came
many-
off the lake like 2 weeks ago or something.
Do you not throw many like? You got your clients throwing like wacky rigs down there or what?
A lot of jerk baits and swim baits. I've had them throw Carolina rigs, but I feel like it's hard for people to kind of maybe they just like throwing them, but I feel like they're hard to like figure out how to actually fish. So it's just easier to just throw like a moving bait, just
Sure.
something going through the water column. Top water works too.
Little devil's horse action.
So, five baits, not a spook. I don't like those. I don't like those prop baits. They're too slow for me. But I don't like guys throw them.
It's a lot of walking baits. Is that what you
A
said?
spook works well. A bone. Yeah, a spook. A white spook is really, really good down here. So,
My thing has always been like I don't know why they make topwaters that aren't bone colored. Like that's all I throw. Like I don't care if I'm in Texas or Minnesota or anywhere in between. I'm throwing a bone topwater.
Yeah, it's like the only color that you need. You don't need any other colors.
I mean, it worked for Lee Livesey, so
yeah. I'm throwing Lowrance, strictly Lowrance. What's up? I'm gonna probably get the Garmin. I don't know if they call it Live Scope or Panoptics, the newest one, whatever it is. But that's it. I don't know. And I'm gonna get a Hummingbird just for mapping because that's all it's good for.
So you're not going to get the active target for Lowrance?
No, I think it looks like junk, dude. I think it looks like crap compared to the Garmin one, don't you?
I can't say that I have been in the boat with active target, so.
I mean, I'm sure there's people that would disagree with me, but I've looked at some of the ads for it, and I'm like, that looks like Gen 1, Gen 2 Garmin stuff. Like, why are you even buying that? I don't know. It looks like an ultrasound. I want to be able to actually physically see those fish swimming around versus the little blobs.
At this time, Marty, I do not have anybody providing prizes for Drain the Lake. So if somebody would like to step up and provide prizes, we could give away prizes for Drain the Lake. So Lauren says, I assume you provide all the equipment? Like you could just fly in, buy a fishing license, hop in the boat. You're good to go, right? Like what does somebody need to bring if they're going to do a fishing trip with you?
They don't need to bring anything other than a good attitude, a rain suit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, really, like just a good attitude and positive
Fishing
outlook.
license.
Because sometimes fishing can be a little bit slow in Florida, or it like takes a little while to find them, even on those trip days. But we'll eventually find them. And then what else are they asking? Is there a website? Yeah, it's a paycheckfishing.com, and then we can work out something if you're booking 2 to 3 days of guide trips. Yeah, I have all the rods and reels, and I probably have just as much as tackle as Rich does. Could open up his own tackle store, so we're good to go there.
I haven't been out on any lakes right now, so I couldn't tell you. I have not been out since the 25th of April, so I'm not sure what the water has done here locally. I would assume it's in the low to mid 50s right now. but that would be a guess. Yeah. Orchard is a decent lake, but it's got 4 parking spots, so it's really hard to get on. And a little money for a tip in case you catch them. Good point, John. I would, I mean, I don't know. Like, I assume you can just buy it online on your phone. Like, that's what I do when I buy licenses everywhere I go. Like, people really like to go to sporting goods stores and Walmarts to buy physical fishing licenses. I don't know a state that doesn't have a really slick online system that you can't buy on your phone in 5 minutes, and then you have it. I don't know.
Yeah, I just buy all mine online now. Like when you go to a new state, like you don't got time when you're fishing an opener or something like that to dink around and go buy a fishing license. Just buy it online.
So you caught an 8-pound, 10-ounce new PB. What was your PB before that?
I don't know. It's probably 7 something. I actually really don't even know. It's probably 7 something up in Minnesota. Maybe 7 pounds.
Which is a freak show up here.
I really didn't even care because I was like, yeah.
I mean, catching a 7 in Minnesota.
If you want to catch a big one up in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, a 7 in Minnesota is more impressive than an 8-10 in Florida, for sure.
That's
book.
Probably true. Yeah, that's probably true. But there isn't that many of them out there, so I don't know. I figured I knew I was moving to Florida anyway, so I was like, why even count that as a PB?
So what's the biggest fish your clients have put in the boat?
8.3 or something. 8.4. It was about a month ago or something like that. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people come down here and they think, oh, I'm gonna catch an 8 or a 9 or a 10, and like in a 4-hour trip, and like that's not normal. Like you just don't just like I don't go out there and catch like 8, 9, 10 pounders. Like people don't even. There's like one guide service down here that's trophy guides or something like that, and it's like I don't know how they even guarantee that you are gonna catch a fish that big, because legit, I spent a ton of time. I know a lot of guys down here that also fish a lot, and that's just not the norm. Like you might catch a lot of 5s and 6s on a trip, but you're not gonna catch 8s, 9s, and 10s. So I feel like having expectations of not catching a fish of that caliber is a realistic expectation to not come down here and expect you're going to catch something that big. Have the hope that you will, but don't expect to catch something that big.
I think that's pretty legit, reasonable. It doesn't matter if you're going to Lake Fork or Falcon or Florida. Like, yeah, never expect you're gonna. I mean, you can have high hopes, but I wouldn't bank on it. Even the best of the best, right? Like, I mean, there was 100 of the best anglers in the world on Lake Fork for 3 or 4, and I would guess just roughly there was only 10 or 20 8-pounders caught, or something like 20 some. I mean, like for 100 guys, like, right? Like, just think about it in that respect.
Yeah, exactly. Probably the best lake right now in the country with the best anglers at probably one of the best times, and they still didn't really catch a whole lot of giant fish. Yeah, nice fish.
Although Lee caught like almost 5 of them in one day, but no big deal on a top water.
On a top water, like 2 feet of water too.
Can you imagine catching 42 pounds on a spook? That doesn't even seem like real life.
Did he Did he even catch any off that swim bait? I saw the ones.
I
off
think
the
his
spook.
small
I didn't
one
even
came
see
on
any
the
off that
swim bait.
bait.
His small one was on the swim bait.
What was the small one? Like 6?
7, 11.
That's just insane, dude. That's just nuts. That's crazy. Can you imagine, dude? He caught the 3rd biggest bag in bass history, behind Dean Rojas and I don't know what the other bag was. Maybe it was Paul Elias down in Falcon,
Yeah,
maybe a few years
I don't know if
ago.
it was Elias. It might have been Scroggins. It was somebody in that Falcon tournament.
Oh, okay. That's insane, dude. That's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I think what Lee did was almost a little more crazy than what those other guys did. Especially Dean. Like, I'm not discrediting what he did. It still was amazing. But to be able to catch him post spawn on a shad spawn topwater and almost break the record versus like literally just having them pull up right in front of you, like because you were in the right spot and there was literally just, I mean, if you hear him tell the story, he literally probably pulled up on a little spawning flat the size of my basement here, and there's an 8-pounder, there's a 9-pounder, there's, I mean, like just like they just boom, like just like at that point it was probably a little bit like shooting fish in the barrel. But to catch them fishing, I think those other 2 ones are a little more impressive. The other 2 40-pound bags.
Yeah, definitely more impressive than the Paul Elias one, like, or even the Dean Rojas one. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, 7-1 is a freak. Yeah, my Minnesota PB is 7.25. And my overall PB is 8.3 out of Amistad.
I mean, how many fish? That's really good, dude. That's really, really good. You know who you should have on? You should have Jeremiah Charles Johnson. Do you know who that is?
Oh, boy. The guy's got like the longest arms in fishing.
Yes. That's
Just
not
saying.
true. Is that true?
It is true.
I don't know.
That is super true.
Really? Oh, huh. I wonder if he's watching right now.
I'm sure he's not. He's way too important to be watching
Maybe.
this show.
Oh, yeah, right. This is a cool show, dude. I like this show. This is dope. You should get some like rope lighting or something in the back, dude. Some green rope lighting, maybe.
I didn't even turn my lights on.
Oh, yeah. What? Oh,
I do have background lights. I just didn't even turn them on. You said you want a green?
Dude, that is sick. This just got cooler.
There you go.
Yeah, what's up, dude? Yeah. Thank you. I feel like this is so much more
greenhead. Yeah.
Large or small? It's got to be a large small. Yeah. Not smallmouth.
So I think our record, so state, just for perspective for people that aren't from this area, our state record smallmouth is exactly 8 pounds. And I think our largemouth state record is 8.14. I think. So, so next week, speaking of the show,
which I heard it. Oh, I heard the largemouth wasn't actually caught out of the lake that it was supposedly caught out of.
Yeah. So Mark Raveling caught that, right? He said it was out of Lake Auburn.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was out of Tonka or Waconia or something. He didn't want to blast that lake, so he said I was one of those little ones, but whatever. But I was
I've
saying
seen
like
I've seen a 7 caught out of lax.
yeah, late show tonight. Didn't get started till 9. So we were talking about next week. Next week, Bass Smash Elite Series Pro Brock Mosley will be on Wednesday night.
Dude, wow. How are you getting all these guys, dude, from the Elite Series?
Well, I just said, well, this week I got Dave Paycheck, an Okeechobee BFL winner. So if you got time, then you can be on next week.
What? This is cool, dude. Do you have like a personal inside connection with all these Elite Series guys or what?
No, I just send them, slide in their Instagram DMs.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
and
Huh.
then I make them a free visor. Not really, but
Gonna give them a free visor.
no, I mean all these guys. I mean, think about it. Like, there's only so much media going around, right? And honestly, if you think about like BTL, Bass U, a couple other big shows, it's like the same 10 or 20 guys, the winners that are on all the shows all the time, right? And like Brock Mosley's like killing it.
Mm-hmm.
But have you seen him on BTL? Have you seen him on Bass U? Have you seen it like, right? Like, he's got like what, 4 top 10s in his last 6 tournaments at the elite level, and he hasn't been on, right? So I mean, these guys need like things to do to talk to their sponsors about
Exposure.
and show that they're working, right? Like, so I mean, it seems crazy, but bass fishing is not that mainstream. These guys need to get their name out and do things to show for their sponsors. So I'm happy to provide a platform. And like, some weeks we talk to guys like you that have a unique story about like just throwing everything to the side and heading to Florida. And sometimes we talk about cool bait makers, right? Like, you know, Dream Smasher swim baits and Witty Outdoors. And, you know, we talked to Gary Dobbins and we talked to Josh Douglas and I mean, like, it's just whatever. There's a lot of interesting, cool stories in fishing, and we'll just keep running through them until I just can't do it anymore.
Well, no, man. You run a really great program, dude. I've tuned in a bunch of times on Wednesday nights when I'm at home and got nothing going on. So yeah, I really appreciate you having me on, man. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, awesome. I just imagine like back in the good old days when you were in the van, just and it was cold at night and you're just huddled up with your phone watching me on Facebook, like Rich, keep me warm. Tell me why I should keep going.
If Rich will just tell me his secrets to fishing docks, then I'll become a so much better fisherman. Please, Rich.
Yeah, appreciate it, Tim. But you're doing just fine. I've never won a BFL. I'm just a nobody, dude. Appreciate it, Tim. Yeah,
right, dude.
I
You
would
don't
say
even fish them, so
I used to. I fished one full season of the BFLs in my life.
Oh, really?
I took 7th in the points, or 4th or 7th, something like that. Yeah. If you want to try one Dream Smasher swim bait where we live, Rigo, get this guy right here. This bait gets chomped. They definitely wouldn't eat that in Florida, for sure.
No, not at all.
Actually, you know, this
Maybe you could mail me a couple. Try them out.
Actually, are golden shiners a thing in Florida?
Yeah, golden shiners are a thing. Yep, that looks dope, dude. That looks sick. Bro, just send that package to my house, please.
Yeah. Do you even have a house? We still think you're still living in your van.
I do. No, this is not a van.
This is just like a virtual Zoom background. That's not really a house. That's like really just a Walmart parking lot.
I have it's a green screen, yeah. It's just a green screen back there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad YouTube is good at converting closed caption. So that's awesome. I'm glad that works for you, Lauren. That's awesome. It is a little bit like the mats. It's actually different. I have a mat slurs. I'll show you those since you brought it up. So while I'm digging this out, do you throw any big baits? Somebody asked that earlier. Do you throw any big baits in Florida or not?
I don't, but I do know there's a couple guys that I'm friends with that do. So send them my way, dude. Let's look at this. Heck, a Matt's lure. I've never heard of that.
I'm gonna we're gonna shrink David's face here for a second. All right. So here's the Matt's lures bluegill. There's the Dream Smasher. So they are both like a top hook swim bait. This one has a little bit flatter bottom. The Dream Smasher. The Mats has that bottom hook for rigging a treble hook if you want. Size wise, the Dream Smasher is actually just a smidge smaller, a little shorter. The Dream Smasher has a little bit more of a wedge tail, and then the Mats Bluegill is more of a boot tail, almost like a trash tail or a trash fish style tail. So the tails are a little different. This one I need to boil. This one got a little bent, a little bit smaller profile, but yeah. Otherwise, I mean, not way different. A little more realistic finish on the Mats, but that's the comparison of the two.
Where's Matt's lures out of?
They are West Coast, California. I don't know if they still make baits or not, but back in the day I bought a bunch of Matt's Lures bluegills.
Oh, jeez. Look at that. You got a whole box of just that one.
And then I got on my Dream Smasher little bluegills in there. We got the Dream Smasher King Gill, which is bigger than the Mats by a decent amount.
Dang, dude.
The top hook is okay in the weeds, but obviously not weedless with that big hook. But you can go to their weedless shad like this and put a big beast hook in it, and then those come through the weeds really well. Yeah, I would go with the weedless ones if you want to fish them in pads and grass. I don't throw. This thing is bite size. I mean, it seems a little big, but that thing is, you compare that with like putting like a gambler swim bait on the back of a swim jig, and this thing is just a bite size profile, honestly, at that point. It's not that big of a bait.
Where are you throwing these big swim baits, Rick?
These aren't big swim baits. These are little swim baits. So you can throw these anywhere. But like, here's the
top of like milfoil.
I mean, these things. That's a 6-inch. It's not that big. Little black and blue for Florida.
Ooh, yeah, with the little blade on the back. Yeah, that's Florida right there, bro.
I should put a gold blade exactly for Florida. I've fished one evening on Saguaro in Arizona. That's it. Went out with a buddy on a work trip one time. Caught a few small fish on like little swim baits and drop shots.
Dude, I just saw on Havas the other day a guy caught a bluegill that was 6 pounds 13 ounces.
Yeah, well,
or something, world record.
It's a shell cracker or a red ear sunfish. 6 pound panfish. Yeah.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Well, you said you like to throw spooks, right?
What?
The old wooden lunker punker.
Dude, that is dope, dude. That is sick. Look at that feather on there, dude. Like 8 things coming off of it. Dude, that looks like a northern bait. The next big goal besides buying the house is probably winning the PFL regional on St. John's in October. It's in October. And then winning a boat and then qualifying for the PFL All-American. That would be a really big goal for me.
Nice. So there's like a full-size vixen, which is like a spook compared to this thing.
Holy Toledo, dude. That's like a musky bait. Or Florida bait.
There you go.
Hunker.
So he said they'll sit you a Matt's bluegill.
What?
Probably
Bono
look him up
fishing,
on
you
his
rock,
Facebook page.
dude. Yeah. Or we can, just add me on Facebook. Send me a PM.
Yeah, or just
That'd
go
be dope.
here,
That'd be
this
sick.
place right here. Get a hold of him, send him a message right there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Big
gonna send one
8-inch?
too, Rich? Send me a bluegill one.
No.
No.
I disagree, Gene. I definitely think if you threw it, you would catch bass in Minnesota. So here's my absolute spiciest swim bait that I have right here. First of all, I'll give you a little bit of the artwork
What
inside the
is
box.
that? Ooh,
Little mermaid.
a mermaid. That is sick, dude. Have you made one cast with that, Rich?
No, not yet. It was on a trade. I haven't had time to get out and fish the big baits. I'm too busy fishing tournaments all the time. I don't have time to go out and fish big baits.
Yeah, right. Look at Carl Jacobson. He throws freaking giant ass swim baits during the Elite Series events.
And how does that
You
work
can
for
throw
him?
them during TBF. I don't know. He's doing good this year. Yeah, what's up?
Dave's more of the flat brim guy than I am, for sure.
Heck yeah, dude. You got to rock the flat brims. It's getting a little too much curl in it though right now. I need to get that sucker straightened out. Iron it maybe.
Cool. I don't know. So I don't know if anybody's got any more questions. Let's hit those up. Otherwise, we'll probably kind of wrap this thing up. If anybody's got any questions for Dave or myself, we can kind of open it topic. But I don't know. So are you making any trips back to Minnesota for fun this summer? Or are you just like when it gets to like 112 degrees every day? Are you coming back to visit, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I might come back a couple times this summer. I do want to come back and fish Mille Lacs this spring because Mille Lacs is my baby. I probably got, I don't know, 4,000 waypoints out on that lake. So if anybody wants to go fishing Mille Lacs, I'll bring one of my Lowrance units and we can hook it up and just go. I've scanned probably that whole lake, dude. You know that state tournament that I made? We had that state tournament out there.
Mm-hmm.
I legit that whole lake for like 3 weeks straight, like earlier in that year. Just hours and hours and hours.
How did it work out in the tournament?
I got 9th and I think you got 11th. So I don't know. I didn't win, it, but I made the team.
Nice. I probably should have spent more than like 12 minutes out there.
Get out of here! You practiced for 12 minutes.
Well, I mean, I was out there for the week, but I didn't like. That was really one of the few times I'd ever been out there. Like Yeah.
Rich.
What's up, Jeremy?
Glitched
Welcome
for a
to the
second.
fam, buddy. Yeah. We are up in Minnesota. I just live just south of Minneapolis, but fish a little bit all over. We'll
HellaBass
probably
is
do
in
some.
Minnesota, and I'm down in Florida.
Yeah.
Rich, you lost you.
But I did a video from Smith Mountain Lake. That lake's a cool lake. If you're looking for a lake to like go north, like Smith Mountain Lake's a pretty dope lake.
Dang, for real? Is Maynard in Minnesota, or is he somewhere else?
No, he's not. But he's talking about the bull shad. But this is only this.
Where is he at? Or is he in Texas?
I forget where Tim is. Tim, where are you from? Let us know. I forget. Like, sorry if I don't remember. Everybody's in the chat, but he's not from Minnesota. All right, you got an email from Bono. There you go. What video was that, Jeremy? He's in North Carolina. Tim is like, I think Tim is from like, now that he mentions that, I think he's from like the, maybe just outside of Raleigh, Durham, like Falls, Jordan. Oh, never mind. He's Bugs Island, North Carolina. Jeremy, which video did you watch and where are you from? Was it the Smith Mountain vid, or was it like a Pickwick vid, or? Yeah, that hurts, bud. That's a hard pill to swallow, Gene.
They don't float, do they? Most of them sink, right?
Not most of them, I don't think. I think they're slow sink, most of them. I feel like a OG depth 250. Yeah. So you met my Aunt Claudia. That's cool. Nice. I'm actually going to go have dinner with her on Friday night and my parents. So there you go, Lauren. Oh, Monroe, Louisiana. He watched my videos from the Ouachita River from the my first national championship where I fished out of there on the Ouachita. I got a video where I show how to navigate the Darbone Bayou up to the Darbone Lake Spillway, which is where tournaments often get won. That lake, that video is pretty popular. So I'm sure it was either the tournament video or that navigation one. But that was like very early in my video creation days. I think my videos have gotten a little better since then. So obviously they won't be close to you, Jeremy, but I think the quality has gone up considerably. That is a stud, Liam. 7 pounds, 2 ounces. That's a mega. So, Jeremy, you should see what I did the next day after I made that video. And I had a moment lapse of judgment and missed the turn and the S-turns and put about an 8-foot gouge on the bottom of my dad's Triton. It had to be fixed, major fiberglass damage. So it can be very scary. Yeah, so Darbone Lake is above where I fished, but yeah, I could see them guys up there fishing like crappies and stuff above the spillway when I was fishing below the spillway. That's a cool place. Like, not a super easy fishery, but one of the coolest places I've been, like scenery wise. Like, just go back, watch, like, check out those videos, like the cypress trees and the knees and the swamps. It's like, it's a really cool place to fish.
How well did you do that tournament, Rich?
I did terrible in that tournament. But I was around the guy from Arizona who was fishing around me, made the classic that year. So I did some things well, but I was just like a little bit off. Like, it wasn't, zigged when I should have zagged, but I wasn't. I mean, my stat, the fish I weighed didn't reflect a good tournament, but I wasn't too far off what I need to be doing.
Where was that guy up by the spillway then with you too?
We were in Darball and Bayou, so we didn't go all the way up to the spillway. But one of the guys did make it up by the spillway. He had a better boat draw than I did. So that was Colby Carden from Alabama, who has made the Classic a couple times. Jeremy says he lived there his whole life and he wouldn't run the S curves, and I've run it several times. And the one week I was there, although I made a big mistake the one time. So.
Dang, is it just seriously rocks everywhere then? I've never been there
No,
before.
it's submerged trees and stumps, like cut off cypress trees. And it looks really weird because there's a certain part of the river where like you see wood and it looks like it's wide open, but there's like an S channel that goes through there. And if you get off the channel, it's like water, like a series of stumps this far below the water and like dingy, dark water that you can't see. And like, it's just, there is no way that you could go across there without, I mean, it's, you go across, like you run flats on the Mississippi River, right? And you just trim her up and let her go and play the odds.
Yep.
You have about a 1% chance of making it through there on plane. Like if you drive across the S turns trimmed up, like you're speaking with Jesus if you can make it through there without hitting something.
Mm-mm. You definitely eat your boats.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's the one thing nice about Florida, right? Like, there's a lot of shallow water, but ain't a lot of rocks. It's a lot of sand and muck and right. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the Mississippi, like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I'll tell you a story. So, Harris Chain, I've never hit anything. Toho, I've never hit anything. I've never hit anything on any other Florida lakes, except I hit something last year with my old boat, dinged up my prop pretty good. And then this year, when I'm practicing for that BFL, day one, I go to take off on the spot I started at. I took a giant chunk out of my sag and dinged up my prop. There's giant boulders in Okeechobee, like in the middle of the lake too. Like guys, I've heard stories of guys where they're running wide open and they look down and they can see freaking, like it looks like Mille Lacs, I guess, where there's just like rocks the size of like school buses below you. So it's really weird. So you gotta be careful in Okeechobee.
There is no buoys, and at least when I was there was no mapping of Darball and Bayou. Maybe that's changed. Jeremy can maybe say, but like back then, like the mapping would stop about 2 miles short of where you really needed it. Like, so you could, like, if you set your own map, you can run it, but like it's such a tight channel. Like, if you
did you idle that then first, Rich, or did you have someone take you up that channel?
I idled it a couple times and then I got comfortable with running it, or I thought I did, but like it's such a tight, it's like a super like hairpin, like back and forth turn. And it's probably 3 or 4 boats wide. It's not real wide. I mean, it's decently wide, but the turns you have to make, it's really narrow and there's no visual cues. So like if you're trying to follow your GPS track
it's
and
lagged,
stay in it,
it's
a lag in the, like by the time you're off the line, you're already effed, like you're screwed.
Even with a 0.1, you're
like,
still
you
lagged?
can follow GPS, but like it's almost not responsive enough.
Even with a 0.1 transducer? It's still lag.
I don't know. I didn't have it back then. That was like before 0.1. But you think about it, like if you start to veer off a half a boat length or a boat length, by the time you realize it, you're probably done when you're going 30
further down
miles an hour. So
couldn't you have just made your own marker buoys and kind of placed them at the different corners?
Probably could have.
But... Good night, Ringo.
But yeah, every time there's a big tournament on the Watchtower River, I get a big spike in views for that tournament where somebody will watch it just over and over and over again to learn how to run it.
That's dope. I'll have to watch it, dude. I want to go down there and fish it now.
Yeah, it's very tight. Like once you get through the S curves, it's not bad. I mean, there are things you can hit, but a lot of them it's like running most backwaters in the river. So, well, cool, dude. We've been on almost 2 more hours. I think we'll probably wrap things up. I mean, I think we've tested the fate of your internet. It was just good enough to get us through tonight. It wasn't great, I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't unworkable. Like I said, if anybody's interested in going down to Florida, Orlando area, taking the kids to Disneyland, look up David. I'm sure he'll either take you out or at least point you in the right direction. He's a pretty good dude.
Mm-hmm. For sure, definitely. Yeah, we'll go out and we'll catch a bunch of fish, like have a great afternoon or morning or a full day, and yeah, you can go back and tell everybody all the awesome stories about how you went out fishing with Paycheck. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, if you guys came in late, you can watch the replay on Facebook, YouTube. You can search HellaBass on your favorite podcast app, catch listen to the audio, the buttery, smooth tones of Paycheck while you're walking your dog or lifting weights at the gym or graphing out on Kentucky Lake or whatever you do. Those are all good options. So appreciate everybody. If you need some fishing stuff, check out Arsenal or Omnia below. There's some good codes. And as always, here to help you guys catch more big bass and suck less.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rich.